Hello, viewers. Welcome to another episode of African Voices in Europe. I remain your host, Aighu Joshua Oyamo, and today we are taking you down to Nigeria again. Remember, this is your favorite show, 5020 Newcomers in Salzburg, airing on your television, FS1 Community TV here in Salzburg. Like I said, I am your host, Aighu Joshua, and today we are taking you down to Nigeria again, and we have our guest who is here to discuss his experience, his challenges and his triumphs here in Europe. He has been in Europe for quite a number of years, which you will also find out how long he has been here. He's no other person than Mr. Kennedy Innocent Amaechi. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Thank you for welcoming me.
Thank you so much for joining us today on this show, despite your busy schedule.
Actually,
we never knew you were going to make it down to the studio to come and answer some of our questions.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine. When it concerns something to do with Africa, in regards to Nigeria, I have to be there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Like, it was really, really surprising when you called that you were going to make it down to this place. Yeah. Because everybody in Europe is working. Everybody is busy doing one or two things at the same time.
That is the system.
Yeah.
And that makes Europe working good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So giving us a little of your time is something we really appreciate.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. And we are not going to be taking much of your time. All we are going to talk about, we started this show to discuss experiences, challenges, misconceptions about Europe to our brothers and sisters in Africa. Because believe you me, there are a lot of misconceptions about Europe. There are a lot of challenges that people in Europe face, Africans in Europe face, that most people in Nigeria, most people in Africa are not aware. So we created this show, African Voices in Europe, for us to discuss for people who have been here for quite a while, people who have undergone this experience, people who have passed through these challenges, to educate people about what Africans face here, the challenges, what will I call it now, the trials, their achievements, everything that they go through in Europe. And we are so glad that despite the short time notice we gave you, you were able to make it down to this place. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you once again.
Yeah, we are going to start the show by telling us brief about yourself, your background.
Well, actually, I start by introducing my name.
Okay.
I'm Kennedy.
Okay.
In Nigeria, or rather from where I'm coming from, in Igbo,
okay,
I will say Mazi Kennedy, Amaechi.
Okay.
So I've lived here in Austria for the past 27 years. I came in 1997 here in Europe.
That's a long time.
And I'm working with a company called Salzburg Net.
Yeah.
Presently, I'm the Nigerian Association President, and I'm in charge of all the study, feasibility, directions, and contacts of Nigeria in relative to the embassy.
Okay.
And moreover, I am married with 3 kids and a grandfather since almost 2 years now. And that's the little I can tell you about myself.
About yourself?
Yes.
That is interesting. You've been here for 27 years.
Yeah.
So you believe you me, you know that we are talking to the right person where you are looking for experiences and challenges you want to know about Europe. I think Kennedy, Mazi Kennedy is the right person to talk to.
Yeah.
I believe we are going to learn a lot from him today. So Mazi, we want to know, can you tell us a bit, 27 years now in Europe, it's not going to be a rosy thing for you. You started from somewhere.
Exactly.
How did it happen when you came to Europe? How was it like 27 years ago?
Well, actually, it's an experience of good because we came from a situation that is better off here in Europe.
Okay.
We left because of the circumstances, constraints that we find within ourselves in Africa, especially in Nigeria. Going down a little bit from my background experience, I read mechanical engineering in Nigeria.
Okay.
I practiced for 3 years, and it took me so long to get a job in Nigeria. Even at the point when I finally got one, was not into my own field. So that means I have to get something to make the ends meet. So on that process, that was when I decided to find a way, being marginalized even in my own country because of tribal issue and religion. I mean, you have to get a job when you are answering a name of a religion that is not yours.
Yes.
So when we check about the whole situation, we find out that our service is needed in another place. So that was what instigated me in the first place to start thinking of Europe.
Coming to Europe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to in line with my movement of coming to Europe is so devastated. It's not everything I can say because I can be misunderstood.
Yeah, yeah.
But the end point, I made it. So I started with a religion help from Caritas. I got married to a white woman, an Austrian, got my documents, and I realized the language became a very big barrier. So in the process, I wanted to leave Austria because of language situation.
Yeah.
I enrolled to study in the university where I have to get a prerequisite is to pass my German. That was then, before I can enroll into my main degree. Because I wanted to major into petrochemical engineering in Leoben.
Okay.
So on this process, language became the very big problem. I decided to leave Austria for good to a country where I can integrate with my language that I know. So I made a move to America. But on the getting to America, I realized that the difference is so clear. Austria is so friendly. I mean, maybe it was the kind of people I met over there.
Yeah.
I even moved with my wife. 1 week later, we decided to come back.
Come back to...
Because it was not easy for us.
Yeah.
Even though I have a lot of friends and blacks over there.
Over there.
So I'm being marginalized here. I'm being segregated. I'm being a kind of let me not use the word.
Yeah.
But at the end show, I am accommodated.
Okay.
So what matters mostly is the peaceful accommodation I found in Austria. And that was why I changed my mind again to come back here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, listening to you now, it's clear that your impressions when you get to Europe was not what you expected. Actually,
yes. In the positive side, it was great.
Okay.
Because the dream, it was like kind of dream coming true. You have a job where you earn your salary, you're not afraid. You have a social system that back you up, you're not afraid. You have people around you that are friendly to you, even in your working place. I started my first job with Sony Company.
Okay.
And I worked for Sony Company for 11 years. I had an opportunity of traveling. I was in Canada, Toronto. I had a lot of facility, amenities. I mean, I was highly accommodated. I have no problem with my working place. It affected my German anyway because in my department, I was into a media QC.
Okay.
And English is our first language. Because we are dealing directly with Columbia, Tyresta, and CTHE.
Okay.
And we report direct to California. And it never gave me the opportunity to have the interest to learn the language because I speak English.
You work with
For
English.
whole 11 years was a kind of negative language wasted. You know?
Yeah,
so when,
I can relate.
Yes. So when Sony went into concourse, I mean, so we have to change. I lost my job.
Yeah.
So I passed through a rigorous situation and hectic circumstances before I find my feet back again. So trying to say the positive side of it, I came from a country where guarantee of job is not there. It's not about what you studied. It's not about how intelligent you are. It's not about how experienced you can, but it's about whom do you know.
No.
So it's not, if you don't know me, the right person, you're still going to be in the wrong place till God save your time. So, but in Austria here, it's a question of knowing what you can.
What you can offer.
That's all. There was first interview I had about a job, my first electrical work, because I studied electrical also here.
Okay.
So I was preparing, I even booked and went to a hotel 5 days.
Days to prepare.
Only to prepare for my interview. Just like today's interview was impromptu.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't care because being natural and speaking the truth, you don't need to prepare anything.
Ahead for such.
So, getting to my place of interview, they gave me a contract to read over it and ask me if the salary is okay with me or we can negotiate.
Yeah.
At the end of a few seconds, they asked me to sign a paper. I was like kind of looking at it. So electrical company in Adnet.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I asked my the boss, we call it chef in Austria. So what happened? Do I get this job? You know, he said, of course it's your job. I said, what about my certificate? What about everything? He didn't even care to look. He said, my certificate is from Austria. So for them to give me a certificate means I know the job.
It means that
so why will you waste the time? What interview am I expecting? So I was like, kind of, because the time I got a job in Sony, we were trained for 4 months before we started our job. Nobody asks you if you know the job, but they trained us. They put us into training. So but this was a different thing entirely. So when I was looking for a job in my country, in Shell, I attended interview. I even wrote an aptitude test. I wrote exam, which I did not even get the result.
I can relate.
You know, so it's not about the exam. It's not about what you know in my country. It's about who you know. So when you compare the negativity of what is happening in Africa, sometimes I ask them, some of them have a private jet, the politicians, but we'll come about that later.
Yeah.
So you know why I don't have confidence in them. Some of them have private jets. None of them have ever hired a pilot on a trial. None. No. They always hire professionals because their life depends on these pilots. But in the economic of my country, they put their brothers that have no experience about that and abandon the people that spend their time to acquire the knowledge of leadership in that field.
True.
Because they said, put them there, let them try, and they will learn. That is why my country is sinking. Mm-hmm. But that is another story of
for another day.
So
listening to you, Mr. Kennedy, we already know that you faced some challenges when you got to Austria, when you get to Europe. Like you made mention of the language barrier.
That's a very difficult one.
Yeah, that led you to travel to America, but you still came back because you were accepted in this place. Aside the language barrier, what other challenges will you say you faced?
Like I said, I've indirectly told you about, and their viewers knows exactly what I'm talking about when I said marginalization. Which I don't want to use the word, the N word. But the way I say it, Austria has respect over that. Mm-hmm. They can speak behind you, play their segregation game behind you, but in front of you, they are so net. So I prefer somebody playing a game on me than somebody killing me.
Okay.
You understand me?
Yes.
That is why I choose here.
Yeah.
They might, behind you, they are against you. Yeah. Like, no matter how experienced you got, they will still not make you their chef. Somebody got to be your chef.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yes.
So, but they will still tap that knowledge. But at the end, you are happy.
Yeah, happy.
Because it's all about comparison.
Yeah, true.
I give you an instance. The kind of job I'm working now, I work by appointment. They call it timing.
Yeah.
They get a company, make an appointment to come and to change a meter or anything about energy in the house. People are so friendly.
Yeah.
Sometimes they even give me some tokens, some tips. Sometimes in terms of money, sometimes it's a banana or whatever. They show an appreciation that you are there.
For the work you've done.
When you compare the kind of little change they drop on your hand, it's already some of my men's salary in Nigeria.
Yeah, yeah.
when we compare the kind of work we are doing. I'm not talking about my salary. You know, there was a time before I got this job, I was doing two jobs. The first job is for my existence in Austria. The second job is to offset my bills in Africa, because so many families depend on me.
Depend on you.
In regards also some certain medical things I'm running for my village.
Yeah.
So I got this second job. But when I got this job, when I changed to a new job, the appreciation people show to me is enough to offset my African situation. So I have to give out the other job to have a single job.
Yeah.
So what I'm just trying to tell you is not about. So even if right now you want me to spell it out, the word nigger is what is destroying every African. That's correct. But in my, as a leader, I always educate my people about this.
Okay.
You don't need to be angry. There is this N-word nigger, from my definition, even though it comes from the word Negro, meaning black.
Yeah.
So as long-term services of speaking is going, people should choose the short term to express it by calling it nigger. But from my own research, the meaning of this shows people that serve in America that doesn't know their home, that doesn't know their background. So if somebody is calling me nigger, my question is, am I really a nigger?
Do you know your home?
I know my home. I know my grandfather.
Yeah.
I know my lineage. So why should I be angry about a word that is not necessary on me?
True.
Why should I be angry? One time I was in a club. Somebody just wanted to upset me and was demanding for a nigger beer. What is nigger beer? It's a beer mixed with Coca-Cola. It's existing.
Yeah.
That is the word they call this name even before we start coming to Europe. So it has been existing before them. But people take it to make a joke and make you angry.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I said, oh, I've forgotten about the existence of this beer. Please, I want one too. The guy said, what? I said, give me the nigger beer. Everyone was like, this man changed from his side and come to me and start hugging me.
Yeah.
That is sorry. I say, yeah, sorry for what?
What are you sorry for?
If now you are upsetting me by telling me sorry, because what I understood, you are only speaking out your language.
And you wanted a beer.
Every language means another thing in another minds.
Yeah.
The word Farouk means you are crazy. But when you go to Afghanistan, whatever, all those Arabic, it becomes a name.
It's the name of a person.
When I was in school, a friend of mine, his name is Farouk. I never know that. And he's from Pakistan, working with Julius Berger in my country. You know, the way we are following this guy, because we believe being a white, through him, we will get a job after graduation.
Yeah.
But no, this guy already have a place even before graduation.
Before graduating.
A white. We level them higher than us.
Yeah.
And we tolerate that and we accommodate that. Just like when I go home with my wife, people give a special preference to her because she's a white.
We try to accommodate them.
We went to a bank, the bank has closed, but because I was with her, I got an advantage to enter. Sometimes it upset me, but sometimes it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's only on you, on your mindset, to redirect it for your own advantage. That's all. So that word doesn't bother me
anymore.
If it's bothering anybody, I'm advising them to just stay clear from that. It doesn't mean anything. It can only get you a ticket, a fine to pay in a court for no reason.
Makes you angry.
And when you show people it doesn't matter anymore, I think they will just give up on saying that.
From it.
Exactly.
True. Thank you so much, Mr. Kennedy, for joining us again one more time. And to our viewers, remember this is 5020 Newcomers on your FS1 television, and we are doing African Voices in Europe. I'm in the studio with Mr. Kennedy Innocent Amaechi. Like I said, like he said earlier, he said Mr. Mazi Kennedy Amaechi.
I've been watching your mouth.
Yeah, Mazi Kelechi. Mazi Kelechi. And he's telling us his experience, his challenges that he has faced in Europe. He's been in Europe for 27 years. That is quite a number of years, you must believe and accept. And he's sharing light on it. And I know we are learning from all these things. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Now we are going to go to your cultural integration into Europe society and Nigeria. Definitely, you said a lot of people who were called niggers in America, they don't know their lineage, they don't know their origin. But you know your lineage, you know your origin. So you have culture that you came to Europe with. Yes. How were you able to integrate these two cultures?
Well, when we want to talk about culture, we have to relate it with the sensitivity of the environment you find yourself.
Okay, true.
Because what exists in somewhere else doesn't exist in somebody else.
Yeah.
What is a law over there, like when I go to Arabic country, I'm not allowed to drink my beer.
Yeah, bring your beer.
In Austria, I can wash myself with beer on the street. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about
so that's what I mean. You have to relate with ethics and also the morality of the environment you find yourself. There is a lot of things, culture, that actually disturbs us a lot.
Okay.
Here, but let me use, first of all, the word, like you called me Mazi right now. Mm-hmm. Why am I still, is it a culture or not a culture? It's a culture because I want my title name to be attached
to your name,
not Mr.
Yeah.
That give me the nomenclature where I'm coming from.
Where you are from.
If anybody is listening this and hear the word Mazi, automatically we know that this guy is a Biafran. He's an Igbo.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
Like the word Biafra I just mentioned now is already a problem in the ear of many people, but that is my nomenclature. That is who I am. That has been existing before anything. That has even existing before the word Nigeria is created. That has been existing before the name came into. So it doesn't matter the agitation or not.
Okay.
You are Mr. whom you are. Like in Austria cannot change their name unless they agree to work on it.
Yes.
And even at that, they will still remember the name Austria. So someone cannot say, because Austria is trying to liberate himself from, so because of that, if you are called Austria, it's a sin. No. So when we came to this place, there are a lot of things we came into. Like, for instance, what I understood, I went back to change in my family. Very, very important is about this word nomenclature, the family name. When I got married to my wife is Annalisa Gradul Amaechi.
Okay.
So she wanted to maintain the family name. Okay. Or she changed to my family name. When I look at the history behind everything, I said, babe, put your name and my family name so that you will not lose your family lineage. If when you are in Africa and somebody say Gradul, if anybody knows about the name, say, that's a German name. You have, before you start asking, where are you coming from? Good. So in Africa, especially from my family, let me say, I have 4 brothers. Everybody's trying to fight to maintain his name. What about our family name?
Yes.
So when I went back year 2000 and I called them, I said, listen, I have kids now over there. They have never been to Nigeria. If anything happened to me and they want to trace my origin, if you mention you are Mr. Ifani, they don't know you.
They don't know you, Mr. Ifani.
There is no way you can connect these two names. But if they mention Amaechi, they say, oh, so family. Please, I'm begging you people, let us come back to our family name, because that's what I learned from Europe. No matter what they do, they don't change their name. The family name remains the same. Your name should be your name, but that family name is always there. So I think it's one of the stolen culture I found on them that I established in my family, and we are all happy about it.
Okay.
And I keep on educating people about things like that. So, and another funny thing, I don't know about this is a culture or not, time frame. That's what we call African time.
Yeah, it exists.
A lot of people have lost a lot of things. The only time an African can keep for you is flight ticket time and to go to bank.
Yeah.
Sometimes even doctor is difficult. But any other thing, they will start waking up exactly the time
they are supposed to be at the event. Yeah.
But in Europe, we have learned what time is all about. Even when you have 5 minutes, call on phone, just like I did with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Call on phone because that time they have given you, there is a time schedule about that.
Yeah.
Somebody else is taking another time. You know, so that are all the things. But when we go to the real traditional ethnics, we try to integrate into the system also with our culture.
Oh.
2004, I was the vice president of what we call the Ohaneze Igbo of Salzburg. So we try to bring our African tradition, dance of music. Mm-hmm. We bought drums, play music. Before you know it, so many organizations started calling us to display. Why? Because this is different, like Mozart.
Yeah.
They love drum. Even some churches, sometimes they call us to bring. When the dome, the central cathedral, is doing something, they will invite us to play our drum. I will tell you, please don't forget to come with your drum. That is to tell you, it's not about your invitation, but it's about the drum you're playing. Because they want people to see something different. So with that, no matter how you play the drum, Africa play with a different rhythm.
Yeah.
Because people play the music, but the music play us. Just like the dancing.
Yeah.
We don't dance to the music. We let the music control our body. The music will tell me what to dance, no matter what you play. So sometimes I say, does it mean that the music was first found over there? Because that will come to another level of discussion anyway.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about civilization, Europe believe is about school and buildings, and town is all about civilization.
Yeah.
When you don't have this, you are not civilized. But I go against that because the word civilization is relatives.
Yeah.
It depends on your own understanding. Because my mud house is what I want to keep. Maybe it's my civilization.
Yes.
You don't introduce your solar to me because maybe my natural solar from God is what I want.
It's your civilization.
If I don't have solar, does not mean I'm not civilized. That's why I say it's relatives. It depends on the direction you're following. But that is a different story of another thing. When we want to talk about civilization, but that is it. So we have a lot of African things we brought into, especially when it comes in terms of food industry. Mm-hmm. African always import. But this time around, we have started exporting our food to Europe.
Yeah.
At least today, Europe knows what is called fufu, amala, egusi.
Yes.
In internet, if you talk about comparison, which African jollof rice is the best.
You see them talking about Ghana jollof and Nigeria jollof.
Yes, to tell you the integration of
African cuisine.
Food culture is also coming into play in Europe. Sometimes people will invite you when they're doing a party. Ken, do you know how to do puff puff? I will tell them yes, but it costs you money. Then I will call the people that will do it, that knows how to do it, or plantain. Everybody can fry plantain, but they believe you have a special way of doing it.
Oh, frying plantain.
So is
because that is your food.
Sometimes one guy was asking me, why are you cutting it so not straightforward? In a special way.
Yeah.
I said, we all learn it from our fathers. We don't know why. It's just like asking me, why are you, in the religion aspect, a Muslim or a Christian? I don't know.
I was born in a
I was born there, and that's who I am.
So
you know?
Yeah.
So that is another story of religion.
Yeah.
So that is the area I will tell you
about culture.
About culture, music-wise, cultural dance, traditional-wise, food-wise, we have succeeded. Here we host what we call, from my own side, we call Iriji.
Okay.
That is a New Yam festival.
Okay.
Where we invite so many traditional sectors of Africa to come and display. Yoruba have the same thing, you know.
Yeah.
Duduwa always do so many programs. So we all are highly bringing things together. The last time was Bini. Even in Sweden, you saw it was large.
It was very large. Yeah.
So Africans, and they love it. You see them, all windows we open. You know, there was a tradition here we call Love Parade. Up till today, I'm still crying about that. But they don't want it. That Love Parade is what we play music on this long street of the Salzburg. So many windows we open to watch, and we end up dancing in a disco.
Yeah.
Some of my friends from other countries always come around anytime this thing is being done. But now, the old people complained it's too loud, so the government has to remove it because they consider the old people, and I respect that. Because these are the people that build you. They are the one that made you whom you are.
Yes.
And in their age, they are no more growing, but they are going.
Yeah.
So in that process, giving them respect and considering their demand first as a priority, I saw it so good. So when I consider that, I'm not against the decision. Yeah.
Thank you so much. The next question I wanted to ask is, how have you been able to integrate with other Africans in this place? Because you really talked about cultural integration. You mentioned Benin, that is Nigeria, the Oduduwa, that is Yoruba in same Nigeria. What about other African community in Salzburg? In Salzburg,
that's great. Actually, is in one of my achievements, I can say I love this question. You know, like one, we have what we call African community.
Okay.
And I'm the founder. So what I call it is Leaders Forum. So where all African community from all countries, their leaders are in this forum. Okay. That's where we discuss issues about upliftment of Africa. And I am the founder of African Catholic Church in Salzburg here. So which took us years to fight, and we thank God is in existence. So in this church is one of the major integration of African system, culture, sensitivity, and mentality. Because all Africans are worshiping in this Catholic church, is in Masklan. So, and after Sundays, you bring African dishes from all African countries. Okay. Everybody bring what they think is best. You know, so you have opportunity to test all varieties from all sectors of Africa. So, and last time, actually I was in Nigeria. That was on the 6th of July. I just came back a few days ago.
Oh, welcome back.
I spent 3 weeks in Nigeria. So I was in Nigeria. On the 6th, there was a big show that happened in Salzburg.
Oh.
As all Africa come together as one.
Okay.
That was 2002. That was the first time we initiated the plan to be together.
Okay.
We call it Africa Meet Europe. It was organized by Better Ministry, by Pastor Patrick.
Okay.
Africa Meet, I still have the video with me. So it's in my archive. So we came together, all Africans, to bring our knowledge together and present something to the Europeans. And we call it Africa Meet Europe as the title. It was boom. It was great. So from that moment, we started thinking, it's high time we start doing things as one. So one day somebody was like kind of asking me, Kenny, why always you talk about Africa as a unit? I said, well, if I'm telling you my name is not Tony and you're calling me Tony, sometimes if I hear Tony, I will turn. I will say, that idiot is calling me again. But the most important thing, did I turn? The answer is yes. Because when you start on the street now, funny enough, and you ask somebody, what is the capital of Africa? 9 out of 10 will give you an answer. Because they see Africa as a country.
Yeah.
So why are you now against us doing something as a one? You see me as a country. So one time, police was looking for a black did something I don't know where. They came to my door to knock. I opened the door. They were asking me if any black came into this place. I was like, what is happening now? Yeah, because all of us, we look the same.
Yeah.
You're right. Does it mean when a white person do something, I will hold you now and say all of you look the same to me, all of you look the same? Sometimes we have to use what we call that tier civilization to do some certain jobs. You know? Yeah. So when you see me as an African, why are you asking me a question? Why can't you do? You are the president of Nigerian Association in Salzburg. Why are you interested in Africa? With a small here, we are not many. If one African commit crime, every African has committed crime. So it's better we work ourselves together as one to reduce the crime factors so that we have a platform where we can discuss our problems. Yeah. So this is why I find it necessary. And this is how we now integrate in so many systems. There are safari units. They call it off your land safari. They even called me to help them to organize certain things, blah, blah, blah. This is in Kenya. I have never been to Kenya. But how did they get my contact is because we have a forum.
A platform.
A platform.
For Africans.
So that's it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So with your answer, it's obvious that you are so much involved in African things. You are involved with the African community as a whole. And I must tell you, I believe our viewers have learned a lot from you. Most people who are going to see this from African, most especially. I want to talk about something quickly, the one you made mention of, the family name, because it's something that we are losing big time in Nigeria, because I'm also from Nigeria.
In Africa at large.
A lot of people are already losing their family name. A lot of people are adopting English name. My problem is the fact when you see somebody who is from Nigeria, who is from those states, bearing Philip Jacob, bearing Christian Joshua. Yeah. It actually did not show your origin. Like you now, you are to be addressed with Mazi Kennedy Innocent Amaechi.
Instead of engineer.
So you decided to stick with the Mazi. That shows your origin. That shows where you are from. And the fact that you are also much involved with African community, Nigeria community, it's something that we really applaud. It's something that we have really talked about. So now, despite the fact you've made mention that you are a president of the Nigeria Association of Salzburg, you also made mention of, so I want to ask one question before we call it a wrap. What will you say has been your major achievement that you really cherished so much? Your achievements so far, generally, African-wise, Europe, work-wise?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Most of my achievements are in the hands of individuals.
Okay.
One, there was a time, there was a kind of, because people don't understand why we are here. So that these asylum situations where police will deport people on the fact they don't believe their story.
Their stories.
And I don't blame them because so many people came with false informations. Where a place, you say you are Mr. Anthony. After processing your document, you are applying with a lawyer, you are no more Mr. Anthony. You are no more born so and so time. You know? So, and they are so tired, sick and tired of all this kind, they don't believe Africans anymore. Sometimes, when people will tell me at the point of interview, they will say, we don't have time, just tell us how you enter a boat and fly to Africa with your boat. You know, just a joke. Actually, they are right. But you are not in the shoe of this person. I mean, there is a situation, what it takes a man to take his life is not a day decision.
Yeah.
There is what it takes a man to abandon his fatherland, leave his father, leave his mother, leave his family that he doesn't know when he's going to see them again. It's not an easy decision. And that person can go any length to survive.
Yeah, sure.
One of those lengths is lying. You understand me?
Yeah.
So sometimes even white lies are acceptable. In the Bible, Abraham has to lie about the wife. That is the sister. In order to save his life. He knows that he's committing a sin. But he got to do what he got to do to survive. So later, you realize he was lying. It became a history. And what was it? Why did you lie to me? That was it. But he was pardoned. So what I'm just trying to say is, why I say my achievement hands on the hands of individual is that because I saved so many people by spending my time running to explain the situation, going to the embassy to explain the situation, trying to integrate. One time in the immigration, they even locked me up. When I came, a traveler was going, they seized his passport because his passport expired in Italy. So they are trying not even to send him back to Italy, but to send him back to Nigeria. I was called. I went there. They said I should come the next day. You can't believe it. When I went there, instead of calling me, they put me in another room. Police, they came. The first question I asked them is, am I under arrest? They said no. I said, then I have no question, no answer. I came here for purpose of something like this. If you don't want to give me the passport, you speak to my embassy that sent me here. Then we made a video call with the embassy. That was how the door was opened.
It was open for you to go.
And so what I'm just trying to tell you, that person is still in Austria today. The other one, this was in 2 occasions. The other person went back to Italy because he's a superstar musician. They call Sunshine or Sunrise. He's in YouTube. Yeah. So you know what what I get from him is that because he charged so much money to travel to play within Europe. Yeah. Then anytime you people are doing something in Austria, Mr. Kennedy, I will do it free for you. So when we are doing our Independence Day, that was in October of that year, I invited him with some other ministers and political individuals from Nigeria. They came. The guy played live music, stayed in the hotel, and my association did not pay any money. So it's one of the advantages. So there are so many people that situation like that, or looking for accommodation, or going to Caritas to make an interpretation, or dormitory, or so many other things. I have done all those things. That's why I said it hands on. But one of my major things, I've already mentioned it, is being the founder of Anglican, the Roman Catholic African Church in Salzburg, which my name is boldly written, and I have a certificate for that. So why I said why measure something? Because it relates to my religion, Christianity. So at the end of my life, at least I found a church.
Yeah, you found a church.
So is that. So there are other minor things. I mean, I have spent my own individual money. As I'm talking to you now, for instance, diaspora meeting is going on in Nigeria, which I was supposed to stay. But I came back here for a reason I cannot mention now. But it still hang on individuals' assistance. I have to change my ticket to be back.
So it will be right when we refer to Mazi Kennedy Innocent Amaechi as the man of the people. When you are talking about Africa, you want to know about Africa, you want any help when it has to do with an African, Mazi Innocent is the person I think you should talk to. So thank you so much, Mazi. And for viewers, don't forget this is your #1 community television, FS1, and this is 50/20 Newcomers. And this is African Voices in Europe. I am your host, Aighu Joshua, and we are talking with Mazi Kennedy Innocent Amaechi, who has been sharing light on his background, his cultural integration, his personal experience, professional social life, which you have listened to him very well. And now we are coming to the end of the show. But before then, I want you to give the address of your church where African foods are prepared, where people eat. For people who would like to come and experience African food, they will come and eat on Sundays.
Good. It's the only, it's a Catholic church, so it's not hidden. It's in Maskland. It's not hidden. That's the only Catholic church in Maskland.
So I think if you have heard that, you should be there on Sunday.
We worship from 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, because the morning worship is in the morning, and we have the afternoon worship.
Okay.
The worship is in English, and it's not about food. It's about knowledge of God being pushed into people to change their life.
But there is food at the end of the service.
Of course, there is food. There is nice African music. And there is everything you can get.
So you want to experience African food, I think you should be there on Sundays.
And we have a wonderful Father Marcel.
Okay.
It's great.
So you should go and experience African food, African dishes. Very nice, very tasty.
Good.
So, Mazi, on your closing notes, what advice will you give to Nigerians who are here, Nigerians who are coming to Europe? Because it's true that a lot of Africans are embracing Europe as their place of studies for masters. We have a lot of Nigerians who are just coming in, the younger ones. You've been here for a long time. And we have some again at home who are considering the idea, who are making moves to come to Europe to study. What are your advice to all of us?
Oh, well, that brings me to the knowledge of the understanding of knowing what Europe is all about.
Okay.
And anywhere you are on the earth, depends on how you make your bed, is how you're going to lie on it. We thought Europe is a bed of roses.
Okay.
You know, the expectation, what we imagine it to be, but it is what it is. Yes, with your own individual efforts. Europe is not for a lazy man. You have to work. That's what makes their system go in. There is no fast way in Europe. No corruption. It might be on the top level. But anything in the lower echelon, you are finished. So, if you are planning to come to Europe, I will not advise you not to come, but you got to prepare yourself. You are coming to face a war. A war you don't sleep when you want. A war you don't make your telephone call when you want. A war you don't eat your food when you want. Everything is being regulated. Time frame factor is what controls you. You work in a company, like I was talking to my sister. He said he's going to work. They got a flat tire, so he's calling the company. He cannot go to work again because of the flat tire. That is bye-bye open door in Europe because they don't care how you come to work. You can only call their company. I am sorry, I have a delay, I have this. You must arrange it with them. Not calling me first in Europe, you have a flat tire, that I will call my company. Come on. Of what advantage am I to you? But the only reason he's calling me is because that tire got to be changed. That tire need money. So it's a pre-information, brother. You got to send money to me.
Money for me to change my tire.
So I become the priority before the company. You understand this?
I understand.
So in Europe, that kind of situation is not here. And what I am advising anybody, no matter how you find yourself in Europe, try to learn something. Most of us that do not have a good education in Africa, if you find yourself here, use the advantage God has given you. Take the advantage, enroll yourself into a system. Everything is 70% free. Why I say 70% is because at the end, When they are using you, you are already contributing to the economy. So they are not wasting by training you free because they know they will use you. Just like if you want to be a bus driver, they will pay everything for you because you cannot afford 10,000, 6,000 to 10,000 euro to train yourself as a bus driver. 10,000 euro is 1.7 million as of today in my country. This is just a driver's license money to be a bus driver in Europe. But what would the company do? If you are interested, fill this form. They will pass all the process and find out that you are okay, physically, mentally, otherwise. They will pay for it. You sign a contract. I work for you for 2 years, then I'm free. Indirectly, they will get their money back.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just a contract. Bank will give you money. Don't go for it if you don't have any need for it. Because nothing comes here easy. No free.
Not even a free time.
Cake to share.
Yeah.
So the people in Nigeria, if you have the opportunity, even if you send me back there, I will still live. It's not conducive. It's not convenient. It's not comfortable. But if I find my comfort zone, I have to go back to my country. Or if you are already engaged with European family, that is a different story. But if you have not impacted their knowledge to your country, let their knowledge of your country get back from what you have in your system of knowledge.
Yeah, what you've noticed.
Just like Afro-Asia Institute is doing. They give you scholarship on a condition. You have to go to Africa to practice what you have studied. I find it good. Yeah. That is the only way we can come up. If the percentage of leaders are from Europe, I don't mean people coming to Europe to use their stealing money to buy and go back. Yeah. No. The people that have passed through the system of Europe, and Europe has passed through them. Like, I give you an example. If you go to Nigeria now, if somebody throw a trash can on the street, if you drink your water, it happens always to me. I will hold it in my hand until I get to my car.
Trash can, huh? Or
not even, I don't even look for a trash can till I get to my car. Then I will drop it inside my car.
Yeah.
You will see the next person or you throwing it even in front of you. So, it's no more about what I want to be. It's what that passed through me. Has established a system in me. You go to bank, you'll be on the line like others. The next person is walking direct to the office. You think the person is working in the bank. No, no. It's only Oga that they know. Yeah. And this person, you have more account than him in your own. But you want to be there because you want the system to work. When sometimes they will realize it, they will call you, Oga, come. He said, no, I'm on the line. Yeah. That's always send a message. In Zemak Bank, a girl was telling me, oh, I have my birthday. I find it so lovely. How happy. You know, when I watch how the girl was attending anybody, she came to me, Oga, can you please sit down over there? I will call you when I have time. I was so impressed. I heard when he was telling another person have a birthday. You know what I said to him? I'm coming back for your present. I went to my hotel after dealing with her, got a nice chocolate, and I brought it to her. It doesn't mean anything, but I want to show her. I said, you know why I gave it to you? You did your job how you should be. Not calling me to attend to me. Yeah. Because you think you looked at me, I'm so different or something. I don't like that. She said, thank you, sir. That message, I did not give that chocolate because it's a bad day, but I want to appreciate her attitude towards her work. Yeah. So we have it, and some of the time we will jump in Europe with our African mentality, and you end up seeing many people in prison. It's because of the character. Yeah. Aggressive character. In your working place, somebody will say, this is not how to do it. He said, don't tell me my job. I've been here before you. You are just his partner at work. His advice is his contribution at that moment.
Yeah.
Listen to him, politely tell him, no, I have tried this system and it works. Let's open this file, let's go to this database, and we can take it from what? Work with this person, not shouting. Before you know it, boom, you have slapped somebody. And you think it's easy, Europe is a different thing. Cut the weight. You begin to go, I told him sorry.
But you slapped him.
African mentality.
Thank you so much, Mazi. We have to go now because time is now our time.
Yeah, thank you very much. And before I go, the only thing I want to tell the Europeans is I have to thank them for their accommodation.
Okay.
Because we first accommodated them from their forefathers. And they're now paying us back our hospitality. And for some of them that have never been to Africa, they should know we are not a dark continent the way they think about us.
And they should try visit us.
They should try and expand their experience about us.
Africans.
The world is one.
And also, one thing I also want to say, Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent. Because a lot of people
that will take you many years to explain.
A lot of people think that Africa is a country. Africa is a continent where you have different countries.
My country, Nigeria, for instance, I'm even so far away talking about my country. My tribe, Igbo, is more than Austria, Germany, and Switzerland bring together. We are more than 30 million.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Nigeria alone is over 100 million people.
So we have Nigeria in population is more than 250 million.
Yeah.
India population, they did not even count me.
Yes.
You know, because you want to talk about Nigeria, I have 3 kids here, plus my grandchildren. They are not even in calculation. So imagine how many diaspora millions you're talking about.
You have about Nigerians. That is true.
You know, so let them remove the mindset of dark nation and put another thing in there and see us like human beings.
With time, they're going to do that.
Yeah.
With time.
That time, I might not find it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mazi.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming. And to all of us viewers in Africa, here in Salzburg, everybody that has been watching this show, this is 5020 Newcomers Salzburg on your FS1 television. And this is your show, African Voices in Europe. Your host, Aighu Joshua Oyamo. And today's episode was with Mr. Mazi Kennedy Innocent Amaechi. And he has shared his light. He has shared information, vital information, which we need to take seriously, which you need to learn from. If you are here in Europe, you are African, you are in Nigeria, you want to come to Europe, watch this interview. You learn a lot. You know your rights and your wrong before coming to this place, so you can integrate into the society well. Not you coming here with your belief and your idea from Africa, and then you find yourself in trouble. This show is going to continue. We are going to always share light. We are going to bring more people. We are going to bring students. We are going to bring people from other African tribes, not only Nigerians, to share their light, to inform you, to educate you, to entertain you about information you need to know about Europe before coming to Europe. And informations, and to the Europeans, information about our culture, our community that you don't know, that you need to know. And don't forget, if you want to try African food, there is a place where African food is being served every Sunday. Every Sunday. So you go there and try one of their dish.
African Catholic in Maskla.
Okay, African Catholic in Maskla. Go there for the food. Even if you are not going there to worship, just go there from 12. Their food is there for you to eat. And I bet you won't regret your action. Thank you so much, Mazi.
Thank you very much.
And this is our time. We have to go now. Thank you. See our next episode. We'll see you again. My name remains Aighu Joshua, and this is FS1 Televisions.